Okay, in all honesty, I was gonna film another video today, that involved characters and storytelling, and then, last minute, the story has changed, so now I'm in the middle of a rewrite, but I still needed a video for it today. So, I thought it'd be kind of fun to try this out, and, do a little bit of mending while I chat real quick, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if this is going to end up on YouTube, but we're going to try. I need to get mending done. I need a video. Let's combine the two. First off, I'm going to see if I can mend my sweater here. I need a gray. Oh, I do have a gray. Cool. This sweater is the one I use for Cora when it's cold, but I wear it on a daily basis also when it's cold. But last time I wore it, I realized that there was a hole in the armpit. So, thankfully, it should be a pretty easy fix, but I've got to sit down and actually do it. So, that's what we're going to do here. Pardon the voice. I don't know why my voice is shot today. I must have overused it at work, but I didn't think I did. Though I have been coughing a lot. I've got bad allergies at the moment. I've been kind of coughing a lot, so I was kind of wondering if I just strained the voice a little bit because of that. I think is what happened. So, alright, here we go. I don't know if I've said it before on this channel, but I learned how to sew because of my grandmother. She taught me how to sew. And the first thing I ever sewed was I sewed some very pretty little buttons. Don't judge me for how I said that. On a dress I had. I had a red, like, corduroy dress, I think it was. And I don't know how old I was. I barely remember this. But it was like plain. There was nothing on it. It was just a plain red dress. And I wanted to make it look prettier. So she taught me how to sew some, like, I think there were Noah Ark buttons onto the dress. And like it was like an 8 dress type. So I was like sewed a few here and then sewed a few here. And that's how I first learned. That was the first thing I ever sewed. Then growing up, for the holidays like Easter and Christmas, my grandmother would make, my mom would help too, would make brand new dresses for my family. Or we would go and buy them. But half the time we would most of the time, we would make dresses for the holidays, Christmas, Easter. So when me and my sisters got a certain age, we ended up helping them make our new dresses, and we learned how to follow a pattern, sew, use the sewing machine. I didn't care for it. I didn't care for sewing for the longest time there. Was not a fan of it. And then about, I don't know, couple years after she passed away, I wanted a summer dress, but I wanted a particular summer dress. I wanted it to be modest, obviously. I wanted it to have pockets. I wanted it to be cute and simple. And of course, my whole family had all the sewing stuff left over from her. And oh, I missed a hole. I somehow missed a whole hole, so now I have to go back. That's weird. But we had like the sewing machine, all the patterns. My mom sews occasionally too, so I'd learn a lot from her also. But we had everything we needed, and I was like, okay, well, I want a very specific type of dress. And I theoretically know how to sew. So I sat down and I sewed me a dress. And then I did that, and it worked out so well. It's a blue plaid dress, which I think you have seen on the channel before, but I don't remember for sure, but I think you have. But that dress was the dress that got me into sewing. And then after that, because that worked so well, it just kind of snowballed. And I still sew to this day, not only with the little mending things, but sew full-on dresses. Dresses is my main go-to. Dresses or skirts is my main go-to. Though I have branched out, and I want to branch out more. I want to learn how to sew some other and more complicated stuff. Because I can do like the basic sews, the basic stuff now. I want to eventually learn how to sew the bigger ones. Or more complicated projects, I guess. So, alright, there's that. Now I shouldn't have a giant hole in my armpit. How does it look on the outside? There we go. See? Like it never happened. I think that's one of the best things ever. Learning how to do the mending, how to do this a basic sewing stitch like that. Is now I don't have to throw this away. I can wear this for who knows how much longer. The other thing I've got to sew is I got a handful of socks. Same thing, they've got holes in them. And I don't want to go buy new socks. I should go buy new socks because these were kind of on the cheapish side. And I go through socks like you wouldn't believe. Like, I wear socks almost all the time, especially when it's cold. Like, I'm the person who wears socks when you go to bed. Because I know that some people don't do that. But I'm really hard on socks. Like, I go through them so quickly that it's really crazy. Why is this one here? This one's fine. Well, I guess I got a couple holes. So most of the time, I'll just throw them out when they start to get holy like this. But I like these socks. I think they're cute. So I want to stitch. I'm gonna mend. I think darn is what they're actually called. It's actually called. I'm gonna darn some of them, and you're gonna sit here and watch me darn them until my battery dies. That's what we're gonna do. So I got some gray left. Let's do the gray socks because I got gray left from doing the sweater. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, I don't know why I'm so hard on. Well, I kind of know why I'm so hard on socks, but because I wear them all the time, like all the time. Well, that's not true. Anytime it's cold, I wear them all the time. And then during the summer, I don't. If I can help it, I don't wear anything. I like going barefoot, like a lot. So, but yeah. Where did this one need to be? Okay, I gotta take my glasses off again. Oh, see, now it's overheating again. And it's only an 8-minute video. Alright, well, I'll be back. Hang on. Okay, so Jessica's been really busy with stuff. So she asked some of us to kind of pitch in and help promote her website. So let's give this a try. I recently redecorated my castle. Me and Rosette put a lot of thought into a lot of the different rooms. One of the things that we thought we needed was more decoration on our walls. So we went to viewfromthemiddleseat.pixel.com. On there, Jessica has uploaded her photos that you can get yourself. You can get them as printed photos, as canvas prints, painted on wood or metal sheets, and you can get them in different sizes. All of these photos are real photos that she has taken over the years of out here in the West. A lot of them are from her own backyard. Some of them are from her vacations and exploring expeditions that she has done. Thank you, Val. Yeah, on this website, you can get more than just her photos. There's other things on there that has her pictures on them, making them very unique. Yeah, like these greeting cards that me and my cousin Vivian like to use to correspond with each other. But there's other stuff also. Notebooks, blankets, tapestry, cups, and so much more. So that's viewfromthemiddleseat.pixel.com. And remember, she's constantly adding new photos from her collection up onto this site. So if there's not anything at the moment that looks cool to you, come back in a week or so and there'll probably be new photos uploaded. That's viewfromthemiddleseat.pixel.com. Okay. I darned the gray ones while my battery cooled, so now I'm darning some blue ones. I think some of my favorite clothes I ever sewed obviously the blue dress that started me down the path of sewing. Love that one. And maybe I'll probably add pictures here as I talk about this. One of my other favorite things I've ever sewn was this red and yellow dress for my sister. Here's a picture. This one was fun because it was a pattern and like color choices and like with the lace and everything that I would have never thought to do by myself. But I went to the store, she picked out the pattern, she picked out what she wanted, the style she wanted, and we actually based it off of one of my mom's old dresses when she was in high school. We based a lot of the style and everything off of that dress because we really like that dress. But that one was a fun one to do, and it's still to this day one of my favorite things I've ever sewn. But, like, again, I can't take credit for like the color and the pattern or anything because that was all her. I'm just the one that executed her vision. But I really enjoyed doing that because I learned a lot with that one, and I do love how it turned out. Having the lace overlaid with the yellow is so pretty, and it's still to this day one of my favorite things I've ever sewn. I did that years ago, sewed that years ago. And one of my other ones, not necessarily a favorite one of mine that I've sewn, but one I'm definitely proud about, is I sewed this trench coat for my brother. I think I've got pictures of him wearing it. This is another one where I just executed the idea. Like, he had the idea, he had the pattern, he bought everything, and I executed it. I'm the one that like sewed it. But this trench coat took so many tries. Was a much bigger project than I've really ever sewn. Like, cause I don't know if you can tell in the picture, but it's 2-layered. It's got a warm quilting on the inside. And then it has that the black fake leather on the outside. So I basically had to sew 2 coats, except I think I ended up sewing 4, because I did a mock-up. I'm pretty sure I did a mock-up. Like, I took some scrapped fabric and I did like the basics of the coat idea, so I knew what I was doing. And then I sewed the coat originally. And then I think it was the outer part. We had this like black, or was it the red? I don't remember if it was the black or the red, but we had like a more of a felt fabric. I think it was the black. Then we had this like black felt fabric, but we sent it through the wash before I connected the 2 pieces, and it shrunk. So I had to re-sew. I think it was the black part. I had to re-sew the outer lining because it had originally shrunk in the wash. So I ended up sewing this jacket like 4 times. Once a mock-up, one that got shrunk in the wash, and then the 2 parts that ended up actually making up the jacket. So by the 4th time of sewing it, I was pretty done. But I'm super, super proud of this coat though, because there were so many parts of it I hadn't really done. I had to put a zipper in it. I've done a zipper one other time, so that was fun. I added gigantic pockets to it, so that was fun figuring it out. And then actually I've never done a double layering, like a lining to a project before. I've never done that. So that was fun to learn and figure out how to do. And then just sewing it in general, because again, it was his vision, his idea. We had the basic pattern piece for like the jacket, like the trench coat part, but then we had all these different parts that he wanted me to add to it, like the giant pockets. Those weren't part. We did like the cuffs, a lot of lining, the cape thing he's wearing. That's not a pattern. We macared it. That we didn't have a pattern for that, so we just kind of winged it to make that cape. And then that cape is actually detachable, so you can make other capes and just swap them out for whatever color he wants. Which I think he did. I think he made a red hooded one. I think. It's nice outside, so I've got all sorts of siblings outside. which is always fun when I'm filming. I'm onto green and yellow, it looks like. So I'm very proud of those two. Like, very proud of those two. Ooh, and then in more recent years, or more recent of sewing, because I sewed these only a couple days ago, a couple weeks ago, closer to a week. As I sewed this dress for Easter, which I'm super proud of. It was a pattern I hadn't done before. I've done some working with that knitted t-shirt material, but I haven't like made a full-on project with that material before. So I was actually super happy. I liked it enough that I took the same pattern and I made a red dress out of it, which I don't think I have a picture for, but if I do, I'll put it up, but I don't think I have a picture for it. But, so I have 2 dresses now that is made out of that pattern because it was so easy and I loved how it looked, so I made that. Yeah. I make dresses. I usually just make dresses. I like making summer dresses. I'll make skirts occasionally. Those are my favorite things to do. I don't know if I have any other... I mean, I've sewed a lot of dresses, obviously. Been sewing for years now. Probably pretty close to about 10 years now. But I don't know. Those are my favorite ones, though. That red and yellow dress and then the trench coat. Those are my favorites that I've made. Because they were just so different than what I've done in the past. I was like, yes, that's awesome. I have my siblings will ask me and be like, hey, what would it cost to sew, insert whatever it is that we're sewing. And I'll be like, well, you get me the materials that I need, the pattern I need. First, you pay for that, and then I'll execute your idea. And then, depending on how complicated an idea it is, I'll charge you accordingly. But usually I just tell them, hey, if you give me the material, I'll just do it. Unless it's a complicated thing, like the trench coat, I did charge my brother. We did agree upon a price for that trench coat. He paid for it, but I ended up, we ended up like exchanging some money for that because that was such a complicated and it took a while for me to sew. But most of the time I just tell them, I'd be like, hey, you get me the material, the pattern, you pay for whatever it is that I need, and I'll sew it for you. Okay, well, that's all I got time for today. Kind of a weird video. I acknowledge that it's a little bit of a weird video, but again, I had another video I was going to film, and now I have to do rewrites on that video, which I'm so not happy about. But yeah, that was kind of fun. I enjoyed doing this. I really did. So